they thought I was being gang stalked, and they sent a guy who started asking me all these questions when I was in the mental hospital about gang stalking and stuff, which was bizarre. And
Yeah.
then ever since then, I thought I was on the list. And I thought the only way to get help for it was to call the FBI, the biggest mistake of my life. I called the FBI and talked about gang stalking and gangs in my hometown. That's basically all I did. I didn't throw anybody under the bus, didn't get anybody in trouble. But if you talk about gang stalking, that's basically a death sentence. And then I realized, oh, damn, the FBI is not going to help me. So I gave him a fake name. The fake name was Brandon Lee. And what I learned later is that they illegally hacked into my phone, exposed my identity to this guy, I guess an FBI mob boss. It's what a cop told me specifically. This only happens if an FBI mob boss puts a hit on you. And it happened when I was 24, and they didn't start stalking me until I was like 28, 29, because I didn't even know like what this was.
Welcome to the Unveiling Shadows podcast. I'm your host, Kimberly Mosby. Join me as I dive into powerful stories of resilience and strength. In each episode, I sit down with guests who have faced similar journeys of coercive control, financial manipulation, and personal invasion. Together, we uncover the shadows, share our experiences, and inspire others to reclaim their lives. Tune in, listen, and be a part of the community that stands tall against the forces that seek to control us. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Unveiling Shadows podcast. I'm your host, Kimberly Mosby, and as always, we're here to pull back the curtain on things most people don't want to talk about. Today, I'm honored to welcome a powerful voice to the conversation, someone who isn't afraid to speak the truth, challenge the narrative. Joining me is John, a truth seeker, deep thinker, someone who understands the cost of awareness in a world that often rewards silence. Whether through personal experience, research, or lived conviction, John brings a presence that commands attention and clarity that cuts through the noise. I have a feeling today's conversation is going to hit deep, so grab your coffee and let's settle in and get ready to go there, because we don't do surface level here, and neither does John. Can you briefly introduce yourself and then tell us a bit about your background and when you first encountered being targeted?
Yeah, my name is John. I grew up in Ventura, California, but I was residing in Washington State when I first noticed that I was being targeted. When I first noticed I was being targeted, they hacked my Facebook, and there's a post with a threat in Spanish with a disturbing picture that says, "Without my eyes, I can no longer cry," in Spanish. Pretty serious threat. Yeah. So they're using technology, and all this stuff. And then I was in Spokane, and I had a bunch of people harassing me. My ex-girlfriend was involved. I was doing drugs at the time. I don't do them anymore. But I went down a bad path with her, but yeah, she was totally involved. And then I had these people harassing me, and she was trying to set me up, and I just got really freaked out. And then the picture on my Facebook made me even more scared, because I was like, oh fuck, I'm sorry I cussed, but I was like, I'm gonna lose my eye. And then I purposely went to jail to stay safe. Like, the cops weren't even gonna take me to jail, because I called and they considered it false reporting because there's no evidence of what I was like, even though there was evidence. But then before I went into the jail, the cops stopped and a lady handed him a brown paper bag. Pretty suspicious, I'd say. I don't see any reason why a lady would be handing them a brown paper bag other than bribes or corruption. And after that, I saw people that I knew from my hometown that were they were following me, and there's this one guy who was following me, and we were talking. I didn't know he was targeting me. And I got an Uber ride because I was trying to get to the airport to get out of town. And then even the Uber driver was involved, which is weird. He said I was going to end up in a 55-gallon drum. I don't see why he would say. Pretty freaking scary, yeah. And freaked me out. So instead of going to the airport, I went to the casino, and then there's just a bunch of people there, and I tried to order in a taxi. And there was a gang member inside of the taxi with the taxi driver, and I kept calling all these taxi companies, but it ended up being the same taxi company that I would go to, like automatically routed to. And I knew not to get in that freaking taxi. Like, this guy was sketchy as hell. And I told him, I made up an excuse. I'm like, I got OCD. I can't get in there with him. And luckily I didn't. And then I ran off. I don't know how I got away, besides like, this has strengthened my faith a lot. I got some other crazy stuff that's happened too. Like, I've had some spiritual stuff happen behind this too, which has been, I thought I was crazy, but I'll go on into that later. But
Yeah.
when I got to the airport, I got a flight to Seattle. And then when I got in Seattle, I didn't have anywhere. My dad got me a flight to Seattle. I told him I was going to get chopped up. And he was like, I'll just get you out of there. He really wanted me to get away from my ex-girlfriend and stuff. And when I was running from Seattle, there was a bunch of gang stalkers there, and, like, following me around, and uh, I didn't know if I was crazy or not. I thought I was going crazy, right? And I was running out in SeaTac, and then this car comes up to me, stops, opens its door, and the guy's filming me, laughing his ass off, ha 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 ha, ha, as I'm running, scared for my life. And it was someone that I knew who was following me around. Like, I didn't really know him, but he was like an illegal immigrant from Africa or something like that. And it's been bizarre. I didn't even know why they were doing it to me at the time, which was
Yeah.
crazy. Later, I found out it's because the FBI, because it's like the law of attraction gone completely wrong. Like, I used to always have mental breakdowns over this, over the cartel and gang fucking, because in my hometown, people have admitted it, told me and stuff, like, that the Serenos, they gang stalk people in Ventura all the time, and they did it to me because the police thought they thought I was being gang stalked, and they sent a guy who started asking me all these questions when I was in the mental hospital about gang stalking and stuff, which was bizarre. And then
Yeah.
ever since then, I thought I was on the list. And I thought the only way to get help for it was to call the FBI, the biggest mistake of my life. So I called the FBI and talked about gang stalking and gangs in my hometown. That's basically all I did. I didn't throw anybody under the bus, didn't get anybody in trouble. But if you talk about gang stalking, that's basically a death sentence. And but then I realized, oh damn, the FBI's not going to help me. So I gave him a fake name. The fake name was Brandon Lee. And what I learned later is that they illegally hacked into my phone, exposed my identity to this guy who's I guess an FBI mob boss. It's what a cop told me specifically. This only happens if an FBI mob boss puts a hit on you. And it happened when I was 24, and they didn't start stalking me until I was like 28, 29.
Wow.
Because I didn't even know like what this was, but I heard like rumors about it, and like I talked about it, and I mean, we all kind of know what goes on. Another time my ex-girlfriend, I had this vision of I thought I was crazy. There's this guy tied up in a chair, and she was with another guy, and he handed her a kitchen knife, and she slit this guy's throat, and blood squirted on her face. And then she screamed, and then she started making out with the dude that handed her the knife. And then I told her what she did, and she goes, "Oh my God, I did do that. How do you know that?" And I was like, I thought I was crazy. I thought I was going schizophrenic. And I was like,
Wow.
I told you, God spoke to me before, and he told me there's two teams. Like, and I don't even remember I was running on the treadmill when the Most High spoke to me, and it felt alien, and it was bizarre. And then it was a personal message to me about these things. And I kind of always knew I was going to go through this struggle eventually. It was before all this started happening. And the two teams thing is making sense. And then when I got in my car, there was a song on the radio, and it was only one word, and it was Elohim. And I didn't even know what that word meant. And it was a really good song. It was like uplifting and full of love. But it was just one word. And I was like, what does that word mean? And then I Googled it, and it was God in Hebrew. So I think, because I'm not psychic, I cannot do this stuff on my own. Like, I think he gave me that vision of her, and like has been helping me out.
Yeah.
But still, bad things happen to good people all the time, you know? It's like, I'm still scared. Yeah. And then when she tried to set me up, there was a bunch of them. And then I purposely went to jail. One of the guys that was with her, that gave her the ride to meet up with me, told me I was a marked man. So I kicked him out of his car. I stole his car from him because I knew thought I was going to die. And I purposely crashed it into a supermarket to survive. And I didn't want to snitch on anybody because I didn't want to make it worse. So I totally took the blame, and I was like, I didn't know what the hell was going on. And then I told the cops I was on acid even though I wasn't. And I got a DUI, and then I was like, oh shit. And then I got out of jail, and she came out from Spokane to Bellingham to set me up again. And this was the craziest thing. Then like they were everywhere following me around, yelling at me from cars. Every time I get on my phone, it would say stuff about the FBI surveillance van, FBI van on all the Wi-Fi hotspots. And then it would say California gang names. and stuff like that. And it even said stuff about my personal life. So my phones were being tapped.
Yeah.
And then another thing before, when I called my dad to give me the ticket, I'm going back, retracing, but when I called my dad to give me the ticket to Seattle from Spokane, on the phone, I heard a 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And I was like, what the hell? Did you hear that? He's like, yeah, I heard that, but it's nothing. My parents just think I'm crazy. And like, I don't know. But
They've been on one of my calls too. I call it dispatch.
yeah, you've heard that? Yeah. And
Oh, yeah.
before this all started happening, there was this blacked out vehicle with an American flag on it. It turns in front of me, and then a flash goes off, and then it turns again really quick. And I was like, what I did, it was before this all started happening, but I knew something was up with it because like they took a picture or something like that. But that's another thing with the FBI. And then there in Spokane, there was like this, I thought he was a cop, another blacked out vehicle, and he was just giving me the death stare. And then I was with my ex, and I was like, did you see that guy staring at me? Like, why is that cop staring at me so bad? I'm like, is he even a cop? He had his sunglasses on and a blacked out vehicle with another like weird American flag thing on it. And now it's starting to make sense because when the second or the third time I purposely went to jail to stay safe, they were following me everywhere. I was scared out of my mind, really freaked out. And yeah, because they want to chop off my fingers, remove my tongue, and take out my freaking eyes. Pretty bad. So I found I was like broke and like pretty much homeless, but I had some money. So I found a car that had keys in it. I took the car and I got rid of my phone thinking they wouldn't be able to track me. But it was like the entire city of Seattle was in on it. Like it was a craziest thing. Like someone saw me who was walking, and then they reported into the gang stalking people. And then I had people following me everywhere. Like there's this one black guy, and he kept on going, fuck him, every time he got out of the car talking about me. And I was just driving around not knowing what to do. And then I started to run out of gas. And I was like, oh crap, what do I do now? And then I called the cops on myself, and I told them I stole a car, take me to jail. And like I wouldn't have stolen the car if my life wasn't in danger. Like it was like a life or death kind of thing. And they took me to jail. And then before I told the cop, I was like, what does it mean when people are gang stalking you and your phone has all these weird Wi-Fi signals that say California gang names and stuff about the FBI? And he said, oh, that only happens if an FBI mob boss put the hit on you. And I was like, oh, great. So then when I got to the jail, they kept stalking me in the jail, which sounds insane. It's like, but then like a guy came in, a gang member, and he was talking to the police, and the police were telling him, you're not going to get in trouble for this. Don't worry. And then that's when I learned what the reason was. They said, yeah, he made a phone call to the FBI and talked about gang stalking, and he gave the name Brandon Lee. And then my stomach like went down. I'm like, oh shit. And we tracked it to his Facebook, hence the Facebook picture with the threat. And I thought I was going to die in that jail. Like I thought they were just going to like let me out to get killed. And but that's when I learned what the reason was, and that the cops are involved, the FBI is involved. I mean, I've sent so many reports to the FBI, just reporting everything to have a document, not one response. But when I say I'm going to kill myself, oh, you care about me killing myself, but you don't care about me getting tortured to death because of your guys' corruption. Like John Connolly with the same kind of stuff to someone. He got 40 years in prison for setting up a murder. Like what they've done to me, they violated my constitutional rights by illegally accessing my phone and then getting me a death sentence like over that. And they're covering it up. I looked on Chat GPT that they make this stuff like classified so it doesn't like hit to the public, but the cops know what it's about, but they won't do anything to help them unless it's like they're keeping it really under the radar. And I'm currently at an asylum center in Finland trying to get an asylum, but they won't accept my asylum because I'm American. So my plan is to go join the Ukraine military, even though I'm not really all for the war and stuff like that. Plan is to join the Ukraine military. So I'll be safe. I'll be more safe doing that than staying in the US.
Yeah.
And I won't get tortured. I'll just get shot or blown up. And then maybe I could start a life in Ukraine. And I don't know. That's about it. I've been trying to get my story out there. I mean, the FBI really needs to stop doing this to citizens. I mean, they're the real criminals behind this. Yeah. And I've been looking at other people's stories, and so
So go ahead. You've been looking at other people's stories and what?
They've been saying like a lot of the similar stuff. Like they'll know that like they'll know what your internet search history was, like people that come up next to you, or like the FBI, the Wi-Fi signals saying all these weird things and stuff like that. The similarities are there, but they use organized crime and they give them immunity basically, and they help them out do this. Like it's not just one gang; it's all the gangs, and it's normal. Like they use a lot of drug addicts to do this, and they give them immunity from prosecution, and they're allowed to do whatever they want basically because they're helping them gang stalk people. And then I even had someone admit to gang stalking to me. This guy, I was like, it's really ruined my credibility, but I had nowhere safe to go besides a mental hospital. So I went there, and then they sent this gang guy in there, and he kept talking to me. I'm like, I know you guys gang stalk people. He was from this gang called Colonia, and he was like, yeah, it's messed up how we do that to people, huh? We'll make your life a living hell. And I was like, yeah, you guys do it for stupid reasons too. Like just
Right.
about anything. Yeah. I mean, my life has become a living hell. I mean, I've attempted suicide because of this, purposely gone to jail. It's gone on for 6 years. I mean, I'm terrified, but I still have faith in God that he'll help me out, or at least the afterlife's got to be better than this. I mean, yeah.
Yes. Well, we know our souls can't die, and this is literally hell on earth right now. And the worst place that you could have gone was Seattle, because Brian Coffrin, if you don't know who that is, Kevin Carter, you should look him up, because Brian Coffrin worked for security protection for a lot of these big wigs at Amazon. And that's why he doesn't say his real name. But Coffrin, you can look him up and he'll tell you it started in the streets of Seattle, many of this
Really?
stuff. Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, yeah, when I was in Seattle, it was the most bizarre thing. Like, I'm like, really, all these people for little me, like, over something so minuscule? Like, yeah. And I always thought people were crazy when they talked about this, but I always knew it went on because it subtly happened to me even before I was on this list. Like, just because cops are involved with it. And if you do
correct.
anything, if you speak out against it, then they'll automatically like assume like I don't know. It's just the most bizarre thing.
Well, because they wanna control you and they wanna keep people stupid so that they don't know, but we know the truth and we're not crazy. People, they'll label us as that. It doesn't matter. They can define my character as much as they want, but at the end of the day, I know that they can't actually kill me. I'm not gonna, commit suicide. I'm not suicidal, because your soul never dies. And once you understand that
Yeah,
and you're not, yeah, then you're in a better spiritual position than they want you to be. Because these forces at play are dark, soulless beings.
yeah. No, it's definitely like they think it's crazy that it's spiritual, but it's like I kind of proved it by doing a murder that they committed that I should have had no knowledge of.
Yeah,
There's something deeper to this, and now it's making sense when like I thought everybody was good and like that we're all one and like stuff like that, but what the most high told me or whatever, like I mean I've heard theories on God and stuff, and some people say it's bad, some people say it's good, but I've only experienced good from that God and bad from these people. Like, I was told that there are two teams, like there's two sides, and they even had a name for the entity of the other team. And before this all came together, like I kind of always knew I was going to go through this. I don't know if I saw the future or not. I might have, but it's always changing, I guess. So who knows? My ex-girlfriend, like, she started crying. I don't want to go to hell. I don't want to go to hell. I was like, you're not going to go to hell. And then I felt this crazy vibe, and it felt like that she just tore apart innocence and bloodshed. And then she just started screaming, I must fulfill this task. I must fulfill this task. And I was
like she
like,
was possessed. Like she was
yeah,
possessed.
I think
That's
so. Or yeah, the vibe was so real, and she was screaming that. And to this day, I don't know if I'm going crazy or not. Like but the proof is there, and I know what I've experienced. So I don't think I'm crazy. Like,
right.
yeah. So
You're not. It was designed. If you listen to the May 8th, 2024 congressional hearing, that is the weapon. It was designed to make people think that they're going crazy. And if you haven't watched that congressional hearing, I have a little snippet of that, of them saying exactly that on my website under resources. I have a bunch of videos there.
Okay, I'll check it out. Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
trying to do all the research I can. Figured out that the government's not going to help me at all. Yeah, that pretty bad.
Well, it is pretty bad because you expect your government to be on your side and protect you because that's what we pay taxes for. But instead, we're indentured debt slaves, and the government, all of it is corrupt. It doesn't matter whether it's Republican or Democrat at this point, it's extremely corrupt by those dark entities.
Yeah, like the Alex Jones video where they're worshiping Moloch in the forest or whatever. Like that's not a
Bohemian Grove,
coincidence, I don't think. Yeah, Bohemian
that's correct.
Grove. Yeah, I mean, there's not a coincidence behind, like, why else would they be doing that? And people make excuses for it, which is so dumb.
Well, right, right. You see it, you can't unsee it,
Yeah,
right? You know
the
what's going
connections.
on. Would you and I be okay? So would you and I be out in a forest somewhere worshiping a 40-foot statue of Moloch? No,
No,
we wouldn't
absolutely not.
because
Yeah,
we're light beings. That's why. Yeah.
yeah. So yeah, it's gonna. I don't know, but
So how did you get through it? Like, how did the manipulation and the coercion affect, obviously, your
it's
mental
breaking
health?
up really
Or
bad.
it is? It's not on my end. Maybe sit down and see if that works. Or sit in a spot where you have
Yeah,
more
yeah,
bars.
it's mine. The internet's really bad.
Yeah, the video upload will be better, I think, but completely there you go. Now you're not frozen anymore.
Okay.
Okay. So how old
I
are you
think
now?
I'm 32. This started happening when I was 26. Before this started happening, I was training mixed martial arts and competing all the time. Just
And then what specific steps have you taken to start your healing journey?
I've been trying to heal. I mean, I don't do drugs anymore. I haven't done drugs in, like, I mean, I smoked weed a little while, not a little while ago, a couple months ago, but I haven't done drugs in like 2 years. And but I'm still dealing with all these
Trauma?
problems. And yeah, sometimes it seems like the easier path, but I don't know really what to do to heal from this. I mean, I'm asking God for help, but I'm seeking help everywhere, but it's just that's kind of got you accepted. That's why I'm probably joining the military in Ukraine. I'm accepted, and at least I'll get military experience and be able to defend myself really good when I get back. So
Yeah. Well, you do what you're called to. And so I wish you a lot of luck in that journey, and I wish you the best on that. So I want you to stay strong while you're in that process. And then if you could go back and give yourself a piece of advice during the most challenging time of this, what would it be?
that you're going to survive. It's going to be hard, and the best thing you can do is to leave the country and cut off contact with just about everyone that you know, because they're not going to believe your help anyways, and that's how they track you.
Yeah.
So yeah, so
Yeah.
or I'd recommend myself to go join the military in Ukraine, which sounds dumb, but in my situation, it's probably the best thing I can do. So yeah,
Well, you've already been through psychological warfare. So if they train you in the military that way, you'll just keep pushing through, right?
yeah, yeah. It won't be half as scary as what I was going. Like, I don't care about getting shot or blown up. But psychological torture and physical torture is, yeah, it seems more scary than war. I mean, I guess I'll find out, but yeah, that's just how they've made my life. So I got to deal with it somehow.
Yep, you'll get through it. You're here, you're strong. There's a reason why. And the reason that they do it is because we have a higher vibration and we have a connection to spirit. That's why you heard and saw what you did. and you have a gift, but they dumb it down with the dirty electricity grid and our food so that we can't activate our pineal gland to fully access those gifts. I hope that makes sense.
Yeah, I'm totally against fluoride and all that stuff. That is, yeah. And, I mean, I think a little bit of psychedelics and meditation won't hurt.
Yeah, that's
I don't know.
true. Yeah,
Yeah,
meditation is a great tool. Yeah, they use that. They say that a lot. Yeah.
yeah.
And handpan, I didn't know what handpan was originally, but it's the people that have those round, like, brass drums, and that handpan music is very relaxing and it calms your nerves. So that's also one suggestion I would give to people, is to listen to that, and some healing frequencies. There is one person that I restacked the healing frequencies on my Substack. So if anybody wants to go check that out, it's on there. Is there anything else you'd like to tell people?
Oh, no, that's about it. Just stay strong and just be informed. And yeah. All
Great.
right.
Well, John, thank you for having the courage to tell your story. It was nice having you here. And as always, stay strong. We've got this. Thank you for listening to the Unveiling Shadows podcast. I hope today's episode has shed light on the experiences that too often remain hidden. If you or someone you know has a story to share, please reach out to me. Remember, you're not alone and your voice matters. Follow me on social media and subscribe to the podcast for more inspiring stories. Until next time, stay strong and keep unveiling the shadows.